It's our reality, just your average family, trying to be normal and stay out of trouble, living a double life.
What's up? Today we got Thurman's Season 2, Episode 17, The Amazing Rat Race. And why did I choose the beginning of the episode as the background? Because of the fact is, it basically just tells about the episode. Amazing rat race. They're doing a rat race, so it tells, and it's also the amazing race. So yeah, so this episode starts off as we see here with Max, Gideon, Oyster, Gideon, and Angus, who after this episode is never seen again. Yeah, this is the second and final appearance of Justice Smith on the show. I don't know why Justice Smith randomly left after this episode, and he's replaced by Wolfgang, who becomes a mainstay and continues through all 3 seasons of the show, including the Thurman's movie. So he proves that he was a better character to be written for than Justice Smith's Angus. So it's unclear why Justice Smith left the show after this episode. It's unclear. But he was replaced by Jack Broly's Wolfgang. And I just gotta say that Jack Broly's Wolfgang is the best character. I don't know how he's able to do Grey's Anatomy and the Thurman's movie at the same time. But that guy is a talented actor. And he's from Ohio. I don't know how he's able to do a German accent the entire show, even though the actor who plays Wolfgang is from Ohio. But I'm excited to get to his scenes. But just saying, this is the final time I'll ever mention this Angus. This is the final time I'll ever mention him. So we see Max, Oyster, Gideon, and Angus. Max says, "May the fastest rat win." Oyster says, why do they always do the fastest rat? You know what, rock and roll? The fattest rat. Max says, maybe Oyster should stop feeding the rat gravy. And Oyster says, don't tell him how to raise his rat. Then he feeds his rat gravy through a baby bottle. Oyster says, yeah. Phoebe shows up and says how she just booked DJ Astronaut for the big dance. Max says the band can't agree on a new look. They're deciding on what to wear by racing rats. Phoebe says they could just talk it out, and Oyster says, then what would they do with the rats? Yeah, Phoebe, you wanted to date this guy, and now you have a good boyfriend in Link. So yeah. Now I have a good boyfriend in Link, so yeah, you said wanting to date Oyster, so yeah. So yeah. Phoebe says if they have a fashion emergency, why not ask her? What's her opinion? What's their opinion? Max says he wants punk rock, Angus wants scare skeleton, Gideon wants robots, and Oyster just wants puka shell. Don't know what those are, but it's Oyster, so it's just Oyster. Come on. Phoebe says, well, the good news is, no matter who wins, they'll all lose. And Phoebe leaves. They start the rat race, and Gideon's rat wins, so they dress up like robots. Max starts jittering out, and Gideon says, that's not how you dance, Max. And Max says, no, his rat's in his pants. His rat's loose in his costume. After the opening, at Himville High, Phoebe and Cherry has not appeared in 4 episodes. Thank the heavens for bringing her back on the show, because she has not appeared in the show since episode 13, which was 4 episodes ago. Yeah, it's so weird that, Phoebe and Cherry are giving people tickets. And also, so this episode has Max's band. This episode has Max's band in the entire episode, but neither are Cherry or Kelsey or Phoebe in the band. As I said, the writers ditched that idea of them being in the band because, I don't know. Yeah, Max's band is in the episode, but we do not see Phoebe, Kelsey, or Cherry in the band. So, which, made me think of that I'm in the Band show, which was great. Anyway, just saying is that it's weird that they said that in episode 13, but now in episode 17, they're not in the band anymore. So Cherry says Cherry asks if she should be charging. Phoebe says, oh no, and Phoebe says, should she be charging people? And Cherry says, and Phoebe says, she just got an email from DJ Astronaut. He's canceling because he's sick. Cherry says, the dance is ruined. And Phoebe says, the dance is not ruined. Phoebe says, this is the biggest dance of the year. And if people find out she messed up the music, they'll never forgive her. Then Phoebe says, Cherry says she knows how to solve the problem. And then Phoebe says, Cherry can't keep solving trying to keep solving problems with her shoes. Then Phoebe sees Max, Oyster, Gideon, and Ing, and comes up and says she came up with a way to save the dance, and asks Max if his band would play the dance. Max says yes, and Nora says, sweet shit. That means they can stop playing at Gideon's mom's gas station. And Gideon says she was gonna pay them and tire rotations. Max says, sorry Gideon, he'd rather pay for teenage girls than truck drivers. Gideon says, lady truck driver. And Angus says, ladies? He's changing his vote for the gas station. Gideon says, looks like they're split. One way is Southern. Phoebe says, oh no, don't tell her it's another. And then Oyster first says fat race, but then he says, oh, it's rat race. That was a funny joke, Oyster. Like that was a funny joke. Meanwhile at the Thunder House, Phoebe asks Max if he's ready to win that rat race. Max says they're not winning the rat race because his rat never wins. Yeah. Phoebe says she needs his band to save the dance. Phoebe says she needs his band to save the dance. Why can't they agree on? Why can't Max even agree on the race? Max says he has no choice. Rule number 77, in case of disagreement, rat race. Phoebe says his band has 77 rules. And yeah, Max says rule 1 through 76. Yeah. Rule 1 through 76 are rock hard, rock out, and rock your face off. Phoebe says she gets it. Yeah. Phoebe says she gets it. And yeah, then Hank shows up with Nora, and Hank says they did some good guarding out there today, Nora. And Nora says, you just stood out there in the shade. You just stood out there in the shade. And Hank says, that's called parenting. That's called supervision. Nora sees Max's rat, but gets scared when she sees it. Goes to touch Max's rat, but gets scared when she sees it, because guess what? This is Nora's plot for the episode. Yep. Yeah. Nora has this one episode fear of rats, which is never acknowledged again. So I don't know why they brought it in. I don't know why I guess they needed Nora to have a plot for the episode, but I don't know why they need to come up with her a way to get her into a fear of rats. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, Nora gets scared when she sees the rat and runs away. Hank says Max needs to keep that filthy animal out of the house. And Max says, Hank, she's right here, talking about Phoebe. And Phoebe says she has telekinesis and uses her telekinesis to slap Max face. Make Max slap himself. Barb and Billy show up, and Barb says how they got ice cream because they decided ice cream was better than joining the track team. Billy says she decided he wanted to join track team to super speed and win races. Another one where I thought that erred, but it's actually what he actually says. Barb tells Billy that if they're gonna live in Hinville, they're gonna all have to hide something, like Max and Phoebe's telekinesis or Hank's super strength. And Hank says Barb's snoring. And then he realizes that she was talking about superpowers. Then Billy says, he's the fastest kid in the world and no one knows, and speeds away. Barb says she feels bad, and Hank says Billy will come around. Billy has learned 2 important lessons. 1, living in Hiddenville requires sacrifice, and 2, never leave your ice cream unattended. Because guess what? That's Hank. Hank wants to show the work he did. He says he wants to show the work he did. He wants to distract Barb. He says he wants to show her the gardening work he did. But, yeah, it's basically just Nora's work. He should take credit for it because Hank is terrible. Hank is terrible. Max is interesting. Billy wants to race. They got a race to win. And Phoebe says even his friends might notice that Billy's not a rat. Max says not if they shot him with the animalizer. If Hank used it to turn Colosso into a rabbit, they can use it to turn Billy into a rat. Only if they knew where it was. And I'm glad this episode kept up the continuity of Phoebe not being able to give a secret like Restaurant Crashers did, like season 1 episode 12 Restaurant Crashers showed us, which is a very good. Max says he should never tell secrets around her, but it's just like you learned this already they learned this already that they shouldn't tell Phoebe secrets. Weird they're acting like they've never done that by Max saying he shouldn't tell secrets around her, but they already learned that Phoebe can't keep secrets. Why did he say that line? It felt like they forgot, and then Max remembered. But anyway, yeah, so Phoebe says that it's in the kitchen behind the Brussels sprouts because I'm guessing Hank and Barb thought that no one would, because, yeah, Phoebe likes Brussels sprouts, and she chose chips over Brussels sprouts because that's Phoebe for you. And Max says this, and Phoebe says they're like tiny stuff. They're like tiny something. And then Max says, Max says his favorite food is apricots because they're like tiny peaches. But anyway, so yeah. But I guess when Hank, whoever designed that thing was coming from, because he was probably thinking that no one would ever want to touch Brussels sprouts, and that's why he put the analyzer in there, because he thought no one would ever want to touch Brussels sprouts. So that's why he put it in. That's why he had it become a meching device to open that thing. It's also weird that their chalkboard thing also opens to reveal the analyzer. Yeah. So, and also Max fanboys over the animalizer. And also, there's also a running joke in this episode about Colosso wanting to become human, i.e., he would not become human until the finale, which is kind of funny that they make this joke about literally Colosso wanting to become human, and literally they would not actually fulfill that wish until the final episode of this season, which is kind of interesting that Max doesn't use the analyzer again until that episode. Which is like, yeah, it's just a running joke about Colosso saying he wants to be human, so he pretends to be Billy to get them to turn him human. But it doesn't work, and Max says it's never going to happen. And then Phoebe laughs for some reason about how Colosso was once human, which is like, why? Why you laugh about that? The dude was once a human supervillain, but I guess it's funny because now he's a bunny. But yeah. So meanwhile, Max and Phoebe are telling Billy they're planning to have him win the rat race. So Billy agrees, and they turn Billy into a rat. Meanwhile, Hank and Barb are trying to get Nora over her fear of rats. Nora goes to see Rat Billy, but she screams in a frequency a normal ear can't hear. Then she leaves. Yeah, this is a plot. Now. Barb, for some reason, heard about Nora's rat fear and is now trying to help her overcome it. Hank Gideon says Max Rat is gonna lose, and they're gonna rocket Gideon's. Then Max is gonna rocket Gideon's mom's gas station. Max says the gas they're gonna get is the gas at the school dance, and Rat Billy talks, and they hear it, and then they try to cover it up. Max says, "Good one, Max," and they're like, "Who said that?" And they're like, "Who said what?" "Good one, Max." And he's like, "Thanks, Angus." And then Angus is like, "This is weird. Let's race," which is kind of funny. So yeah. So yeah, Billy is able to win the race for Max. Back inside, Phoebe says he'll wrap Billy, save the Dan, and Max says it's time to turn Billy back, but Billy decides he doesn't want to he wants to stay wrapped forever and speeds off. Eventually, Phoebe and Max find Billy, but they say he won't be able to catch them. Meanwhile, in the other subplot, because technically it's not a B-plot, but it's a subplot about Hank and Barb are using a rat puppet show to get Nora over her fear, but Nora says they had 3 kids before her. It's just the best they can do, and leave. Hank alerts Barb to rat Billy, and Hank says Mac's rat race are attracting rats, and throws a glove at it, and Billy speeds into the house, but they don't see that. Barb does not see they think this is a normal rat, but they don't see it speed away. They just think it's Hank attracted it into their house. Like, guys, you could not see the thing that normal rats don't speed away, don't have super speed like Billy does. But I guess we have to the plot along, so like don't see the rat have super speed. And Barb says, "Oh yeah, you just put the rat in our house." Even though you could have obviously noticed that he has super speed. So, yeah. Barb says, yeah, Max says, "Great idea, Phoebe. If Rat Billy sees that stuff, he'll want to have turned Boy Billy." Then they go inside to see an exterminator, and they basically say that then the exterminator proves that he's kind of insane, and Hank reveals that he didn't call the exterminator. He just happened to just randomly know where he was, where they were. So yeah. Meanwhile, Max is later. Max and Phoebe tell Billy that the exterminator is after him, but Billy says the exterminator can't catch him. Billy says he's not going back. So Nora comes down and looking for Billy, and Nora sees Rat Billy and tries to laser him, but gets Phoebe's shirt. Max tells Nora to get out before he lasers somebody he cares about, and Rat Billy says Nora's afraid of him. So they use that Nora being afraid of him as a way to get him to turn human, so he agrees, until thanks to Nora telling the exterminator that there's a rat down there, he uses cheese to attract Rat Billy. They hear this, and obviously we get a slow motion scene of Phoebe and Max getting hit by all the rat traps, which is like, why? Why did we need a scene of this? This was overdone. Like, it was like, no. So obviously they tell Nora that they tell Nora that is Billy. She obviously doesn't believe them, but then she does when she realizes. She says Billy wouldn't be dumb enough to let you two turn him into a rat. But then she realizes, oh yeah, he kind of would, and decides she kind of realizes he kind of would be dumb enough to do that, so she runs out. So yeah, so Barb tells him to hands off of the rat, and they say, I thought you were fearless. I thought you had a fear of them. And she says, oh yeah, I totally have a fear of them. I totally am over my fear. Billy says, thanks, Nora, and the exterminator tries to get the rat back, but Nora says, back off, rat man, and the exterminator just leaves. He doesn't try to fight her, I guess because he's afraid of her now. So meanwhile, back in Max's lair, Billy got turned into a human off-screen. Yes, I'm kidding. They literally turned him into a human off-screen. And Nora lasers Phoebe. Yeah, Phoebe and Max are still feeling the effects of being rat trapped. And yeah. So yeah, so then what happens is that so Nora lasers Phoebe and Max for turning Billy into a rat. Billy says he wanted to be a rat. Nora asks him if he's going to admit racing. Billy says yeah, but not as much as as he would have missed Nora. Phoebe says, asks Max if he's gonna play the dance. Max says he can if he freezes his injury. He does, but it still hurts. Poor Max, my bro. I didn't know how I love Max moment in this episode, because technically there was no I love Max moment in this episode because Max did not have a funny comeback. I just realized that. Wow. Get back to your funny Max moment show so I can say I love Max. Because this episode had no I love Max moment because he didn't have a good comeback or have a good scene. Yeah. Phoebe says she ruined the dance. Max says, what if there was no dance? And asks Billy if he wanted to be turned to be a rat again. Meanwhile, at Himville High, Max's band shows up, and yeah, this is the final scene of Angus. Angus just says, ladies, and Angus just hears the word ladies, and then Phoebe says no need to panic, and then people run out of the dance, and the band runs out too. And that's the last we see of Angus on this show. What a disappointing way. I know that Angus wasn't the best character, but what a way to end his character. His final scene of the entire show is him running out with the other band, and the people. Like, what a disappointing way to end one of Max's bandmates. Yeah. Phoebe says, nice job, Rat Billy, but then Max and Billy show up, and then she says, you're not Billy. Then she falls over. What? Okay, end of episode time. Again, what? That's the way you're gonna end? She just falls over? And again, we never see Angus again after this. What a waste of a character. What was even the point of bringing him back? What was the point? His final scene is him saying something about girls, and then that's it. That's the last we see of him. What a waste. Justice Smith, you may have only been in 2 episodes, bro, but you were already a character. But what a disappointing way for your character to go out. What a disappointing way. Like, he may have not been funny, and he may have not been interesting. He may have not been funny, and he may have not been interesting, but at least Angus was fine. But what a disappointing way to end a character like him. I know, like, in a couple of episodes from now, we'll get Wolfgang as the replacement for Angus, and at least he sticks around for 3 more seasons after Angus. But I wonder, what caused Justice Smith to not want to appear in any more episodes? What happened? I guess we'll never know unless someone asks Justice himself, and he explains that he just did. Unless he explains, hey, they fired him or something, or he just did, or he just had a limit. He didn't want to have a limited role. They never explain. I don't think they ever explained in the show itself why Angus left the band, and his departure is never explained in the show. So I guess we'll never find out why Justice Smith left the show. But yeah, goodbye, Angus. Even though you're only in 2 episodes, you were a fine character. And Justice Smith, you now have a really good career. I only saw 1 of your movies. I only saw Detective Pikachu alongside you and Ryan Reynolds. But aside from that, you had a good career. You were that annoying kid. You were that annoying guy in Jurassic World Dominion and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and I think you were killed in Dominion. But just saying, and he was a fine character. He wasn't good. It was bad. But I just don't know why he left the show. It was only 2 episodes to his name. But yeah, goodbye, Angus. Goodbye, Angus. And I'll see you next time when we go to Hank's birthday and also next episode is the final appearance of Ashley, Phoebe's friend, who again is another only I think like three episode character. Weird that they got rid of. They had two back-to-backs where a minor character left the show. Weird. Angus left in this episode. Phoebe's friend Ashley leaves that never appears again in the next episode. Weird. But yeah, I like Angus Smith. Ashley's departure was pretty funny about something with her mom. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. But this was Beckham Reviews and Reacts. I remember it, so you don't have to. Just sorry, Angus. You deserved you deserved a way better exit than just running out of a school out of fear of a rat. You deserved a way better exit than that.